Hi everybody, sorry for the lack of updates. I've been a little occupied for the past few weeks. But I'm back now and I'm here to talk to you about another one of my wacky movie collections. Takashi Miike's Visitor Q. This is a really bizarre film. If you're familiar with Takashi Miike's work, films such as Ichi the Killer or Audition, you really should know what to expect from this. Well, think of every and any taboo, well, almost any and every taboo that you can think of at the top of your head. It's in this movie. To list a few, there's rape, incest, elderly abuse, lactation fetishes, prostitution. Yeah, this is quite an experience. Well, this is probably the fourth or fifth time I've tried to give a synopsis of this movie. I mean, how far out there it is. So I'm gonna try to get this in one shot. Well, here I go. It's supposed to be about this family that pretty much is going through a rough patch, but with the coming of this really bizarre stranger, everything pretty much just starts to disintegrate in the most spectacularly disturbing way you can think of. We have the main character, this struggling reporter, pretty much doing what you think is a story about teenage prostitution. And as it goes on in the scene, he eventually solicits sex from her. And the whole thing that's shocking about it is they're father and daughter, and they know they're father and daughter. Well, afterwards, while waiting for his train to go home, he's randomly clocked upside the head with a giant boulder by this mysterious stranger, who then just kind of invites himself to his home, where you see his family is pretty much really... his family being the reporter is really, really messed up. So the son is being bullied at school, and in turn he's kind of taking it out on his mother by pretty much just kind of beating her with a dust racket. Meanwhile, his wife is a heroin addict, and to feed her addiction she is working as a prostitute on the side. Then, the belief is that the daughter's run away, so the mother doesn't really know anything. But, yeah. Well, kind of the story goes on, you just see what exactly happened to the reporter, and why he's going through such a rough spot. He was doing some sort of story on pretty much troubled youth, and when he approached a teenage gang, they kind of sodomize him with his own microphone on camera. Lovely. Well, for a while then we're just kind of following his wife's daily routine, where she's pretty much shooting herself up with heroin, then pretty much covering up all the bruisings and cuts that she's received from beatings from their son. She pretty much meets up with an older client, goes, buys drugs, shoots up, and pretty much it's her day. Then the reporter starts following his son, who's being bullied by his classmates. Typical shit. Well, in the meantime, the stranger is just kind of like insinuating himself in the family. His encounter with the wife is really unusual. just say I don't think I've ever seen a middle-aged lady really enjoy milking herself. Really bizarre scene. But in the meantime, the reporter is talking to one of his contacts with his studio, and we eventually learn that she's only really meeting with him because she just pities him. Oh. Which kind of leads to like a really graphic rape scene. Which leads to probably one of the most disturbing finale that I've ever watched. Well, he eventually kills her, then brings her home. He's taping the whole thing. And when he's getting ready to cut her up, he decides that he's going to have sex with the corpse. I'll just say, though how disturbing it is, there's almost a comedic sense to it. You kind of have to see it to understand. Horrible as it is, there's one point I did find myself giggling. I won't ruin the surprise. Well, the grand finale is they all sort of find some sort of the entire family finds some sort of harmony in their destruction. The son resolves that he's going to go study, then go to college just to get away. The father and mother murder his bullies, then just kind of lose their mind. Really bizarre breastfeeding scene after that. So, yeah, this is kind of a hard movie to talk about, just because of how out there it is. Probably wouldn't recommend it in a group showing, but, well, then again, if you're sensitive to a lot of different things, this probably isn't the movie for you. And then again, I still consider this probably one of the most bizarre movies I've ever seen, and to this day I don't know whether to applaud or pour bleach in my eyes. Well, hopefully this was enlightening for you, but it's like the millionth time, this is a really, really difficult movie to talk about. And this is like the 6th or 7th time I've tried to record myself talking about it. I tried. And this is Takashi Miike's Visitor Q. And I guess I'll see you sometime next week or two, hopefully.